We are live.
Yeah.
That
Welcome.
works.
Welcome, everyone. Okay. So we're kind of shorthanded today. As you guys can see, we have three people. I don't know if Goalie put up the image of Hitch being asleep or not. Did you do that, Goalie?
Yeah, it's
You did?
his actual names box is Sleeping Hitch too. So
Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing this on stream. Hold on. We have 14 seconds left. But while I wait for that to happen, guys, this entire episode is brought to you guys and powered by Mystery G Fuel. Here's some G Fuel. This is my own. This is Green Apple. I like it a lot. We all support G Fuel, and they also give us a code. And you guys can use you guys can use the code STiKS for 10% off any of your purchases. And I see Hitch in the corner. So that's
You know what's funny?
Anyway.
'Cause I actually just happen to have this. A Green Apple G.
Really? Oh, we're like twins, dude.
I got it from
Goalie, are you showing yours?
I already showed mine. I'm gonna put a white tub
I'll
of
show you
Mystery
mine
G
if you
Fuel
show
on
me
top
yours.
of Hitch.
I'll show you if you show me.
No, but I got mine from Cali. I don't use it that much, but when I do, it's for energy and it tastes amazing, and that's the only reason why I keep it around. I don't drink soda or anything like that, so it's a good occasional substitute for me.
I do not always use Gamma. When I do, I use code.
Dos Equis.
No.
Dos Equis
Yeah.
coming soon.
But by the way, guys, speaking of G Fuel and whatnot, we're actually going to be giving away mystery G Fuel later in the show. So make sure to stay tuned. I'm not sure when we're going to do it. Goalie probably has an idea of when, but keep that in mind.
Yeah,
So
we'll throw something together. We'll make it
we'll
work.
we'll throw something together, and make you guys use a hashtag or answer a question. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I'm gonna let these guys do their intros. I'm gonna do the question of the week after you guys give your intros. So I'm just gonna switch it up a little bit. So I'm gonna start with Fox, and then I'm gonna go to Goalie. Say whatever you want about yourself and whatnot, affiliations, community, and Fox, go.
Hi guys, I'm Fox. I'm an esports caster. I need a haircut right now. I'm a live streamer on mlg.tv/Fox. I have a YouTube channel you can check out as well. I switched all my stuff around to Rondes Fox now. Branding, it's important, and I hope we have a great show. Thank you all for stopping by.
I like it.
Sup, my name's Goalie TV. Otherwise, call me Matt. I'm the head of CoD Sportspedia. Got a shirt on right now. These things are awesome. Might be able to buy some soon. But I put that mystery tub of G Fuel on top of Hitch's head, and that's kind of what I do here at the STiKS. So,
Yep,
Thanks for
Goalie
stopping
is
by.
Sweet.
he sits there, he waits for the sticks to come on, and he takes pictures of us when we're asleep. So that's kind of what Goalie's role is to do. But what's up, guys? My name is Landon, aka Air Landon, caster, YouTuber, streamer. I basically do a lot of different stuff. Tweet about Rostermania. You guys can follow me at Mr. Rostermania if you'd like to. A lot of stuff going down, and I've been uploading a lot more recently, and you guys seem to enjoy that. So doing a lot of different stuff, but I'm really excited to be doing this episode of the STiKS, as you guys can tell by my enthusiasm. So we're going to be going and doing the question of the week, which I came up with. Fox was actually, he was very complimentary and said he really liked it. So that just gave me a lot of drive to want to show you guys. So the question of the week is, if you could make a map pack consisting of 4 regular maps and 1 zombie map to make the ultimate map pack extravaganza, what maps would you choose and why? Now, I'm going to give it a little bit of time. To be honest, I didn't even think of mine. Okay, Fox has his. I want you guys to put in the chat your guys' as well. So 4 maps, all regular maps, and 1 zombie map to complete the ultimate DLC combo. So I'm going to start with Fox, then I'm going to go to Goalie, and then while Fox and Goalie are going, I'm going to try to figure out mine. So,
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Stonehaven.
All right.
Aftermath.
Oh, God.
No.
I was like, oh, God.
Damn, dude. Really?
What is that map that shakes around and stuff and ghosts? Which one was that? Tremor?
Oh, my, that map.
Best map in the game, baby. Come on. No. I'm going to go with some real maps here. Standoff, Raid. I'm going to try not to choose all Black Ops 2 maps. I feel like that's only fair. I'm going to go Crash. No, not Crash. Not Crash from COD 4. So was it 4 multiplayer? We're assuming this is in Black Ops 3, right?
Well, you're just making an ultimate DLC map pack.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
if no one had
Any
ever
of the
seen
Call
these
of Duty
maps,
maps.
or whatever. Yeah,
All right. Sweet. Kino der Toten for my zombie map. I'm going to go with Standoff. I'm going to go with Raid. Sovereign from Ghosts.
That's a good
And
like that.
Terminal from Black Ops 2 as well.
Good maps.
I wanted to pick a COD 4 map, but they're just not coming on mine right now.
Did you
though
say
I
your
played-
zombies map? Did you
Yeah,
say that one?
Kino der Toten.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Goalie.
Well, I'm gonna kick off with my zombies map, because I was actually I went to the Call of Duty Wikia to look at the names of the zombies map, because I have no clue. But I'm gonna go with Call of the Dead from that was
That's a
Black
good-
Ops 2, right?
That was Black Ops 1, I think.
Black
Was
Ops
it?
1? No, I thought that was Black Ops 2. It was World War.
I don't know.
No clue.
It was a Black Ops game.
It was a Black. Well,
close enough.
Good job. Good job. Good job there. For my maps, I'm gonna say Yemen because I love Yemen. I'm gonna say Solar.
Solar.
I really like Solar. I like Solar and Yemen because they're bigger
I like
maps.
Solar a lot too.
I know these aren't like community favorite maps, but just hold on with me. Terminal and Dust 2.
Someone just put.
Oh, Fire. No, wait. I changed.
No. You already said.
No. I changed Wisp with the firing range and then the firing range DLC. So we get two firing ranges.
If goalie can change, I'm taking away Sovereign because that was an awful pick. I'm gonna. I just realized how much I hated Sovereign. I want to pick any map from COD 4. How about that? Even the bad ones.
Man, when I played competitive in Ghost, I don't think my team ever won Sovereign. Like we never won Sovereign. No matter what game mode.
Yeah, I only liked it for S&D. I don't know, man. Sovereign. It was too dark. There's a bunch of noise and crap. There was so many glitches, or like looking through walls and everything. I don't know how I could pick Sovereign before anything else.
Yeah, I feel you. I saw someone's list that I really liked. It was Legs 413. He had Shipment, Terminal, Nuketown, and Dust. GG. All 1v1 maps. I like those a lot. So I'm gonna give you guys my list. Mine is consisting of Fire Range from Black Ops 1, Raid and Standoff from Black Ops 2. Standoff is probably one of my favorite maps of all time. Raid's a great one. Firing Range was my favorite map in Black Ops 1. And Jungle. I loved Jungle back in Black Ops 1. I don't know why. You had that Pride Rock. You had all kinds of different areas. I always dominated on Jungle. That's probably why I went in so much. And my map is obviously the best map to me in Zombies history, Kino der Toten. A lot of fun times on that map. Kind of scary, honestly. Like, it was kind of freaked me out a little bit at times because it's like very dark. Call of the Dead was also pretty good. George Romero, was that the evil large character that followed you around?
Kino der Toten was a lot of fun though. I remember that was the first. Like I didn't have an Xbox and 360 when World at War was out, and I didn't start playing Call of Duty except with friends until MW2. So Kino der Toten was really the first map that I got to play, and we played a crap ton of that.
Right.
When I wanted to be playing Team TAC, but
Studio was a good map as well. I like Studio a lot. I remember that map.
Yeah.
It's going over a lot of different maps, but I was curious, and I didn't actually write this question down. But what is the farthest you guys have ever got in Zombies? Like farthest level you've ever gotten? Because I remember mine. I remember mine with Pride, with Happiness.
I know in Kino we got to 100 something. I think just because just get that M16, pack a punch, keep on ammo off the wall.
I feel you.
100 something for Kino.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no clue.
Hey,
I loved playing Team TAC, so I really didn't. I loved Team TAC, so I tried to avoid Zombies for the most part.
I feel you. My highest wasn't 100. I got to level, I think it was like 96 on Kino der Toten with 3 other friends. We got very far, and we were absolutely dominating. I think I was the last person alive, and of course I screwed it up because landed to detriment and whatnot. But so guys, we're gonna head on over to actually the relegation recap that we have going on. If you guys missed it, this past weekend was actually the relegation tournament. Top 4 teams from this tournament are moving on to the Season 3 Pro League and whatnot. So first thing we're going to do is go over all the placings. I'm just going to go over through the top 8 because no one really cares about hearing who got 13th or 16th. So I'm starting off from lowest to highest. Coming in 7th through 8th was Strictly Business and VVV. Coming in 5th through 6th was Synergy and Prophecy. Coming in 4th was Optic Nation. Coming in 3rd came Team Orbit. 2nd was Epsilon.NA. And first was Isolation Empire. Obviously, like we said, the 4 teams, Optic Nation, Team Orbit, Epsilon, and Isolation Empire, will now be the top 4 teams from this tournament moving on into the Season 3 Pro League. So I'm going to ask you guys, what are some good or positive surprising placings that you guys saw? I know Fox had a couple choices that he thought would go on, but overall, what are your guys' surprising placings that were positive in a sense? I'm going to start with goalie.
Well, you mentioned it in the document, but definitely Synergy. I did not. Synergy's roster, I don't get to see these players play that much online because none of them were in the COD League. If I'm correct.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so I don't watch Call of Duty outside the COD League. And that roster really surprised me. Pac-Man went off on almost every map, according to the scoreboards on CODpedia.
According to the scoreboards.
I don't know what the actual stats. I didn't look at COD stats. _stats, but Pac-Man really played well this weekend, I thought.
You like those guys too? Jeez, no, Pac-Man did go off. Fox, I know you took one. Do you have another surprise placing by chance?
For me, it actually was Synergy. Just seeing them being able to keep up with Prophecy and beat them like that was mind-blowing to me. I mean, I would not have put Synergy over the likes of SB, for sure, especially with how SB was playing this weekend. I think they played pretty well. Unfortunately, 7th/8th is not going to cut it. It's not going to put you in the league, but still, I think that, I mean, I've gotten to see these players play a lot. Like Ivy, he's filled in for 3s up a whole lot.
Right.
Legal, he's been Fear's duo since like the beginning of Advanced Warfare, so I recognize their talent. Haven't seen much from Miyagi lately. Haven't seen much from him at all since like Curse days. So, seeing him and Pac-Man on the team, I was like, what? Like, what are they really gonna do? But hey, they shut me up and they surprised me. So good job to them.
Yeah, I think Miyagi's been on Ignite or something for. I mean, like
Ignite's his own brand, right?
Is it? I think so.
I think so. But I think he might have given up on that.
Yeah.
After they placed poorly at the last LAN event.
True. For me, surprise placings, definitely like you guys, Synergy. They ended up losing to Optic Nation, I believe, to qualify for Season 3, so it was like a really close game. Whoever lost was eliminated, and the team that won would move on to Season 3. I believe ISO got 3-0'd by Synergy got 3-0'd by Optic Nation, so like we mentioned, Optic Nation. But Synergy had a great run, really was very surprised by their performance. And to me, I was a little bit surprised by Isolation Empire. I know a lot of people kind of predicted them to go far. I personally didn't have them doing that. I wasn't really sure how the roster would work. I knew they were a good group of guys. I know Silly is a Don, and obviously Dito is on that squad as well, but I was kind of surprised by them. So now it is time for our negative or bad surprise overall placings, and I'm going to start with Fox this time. So surprise placings that were bad or negative.
Okay, surprise placings that were bad. Did not expect to see VVV so low at all. Not right next to SB, anyways. I mean, I also didn't really expect SB to be down there that far. I didn't expect SB or VVV to make it into the league, but I didn't expect to see them, 7th, 8th. I really didn't see that coming. Like I said before, I expected Synergy to be below them and stuff. But that's got to be my own only bad placings for... Oh, no, I didn't say Prophecy, did I? I think I might have misspoken.
You did not say Prophecy, no.
Okay, Prophecy, I expected them to make it into the league 100%, and they did not. E6, I also expected them to make it into the league, even though it was a very new roster. I'd seen both of these players play before. I at least expected something out of Holler, and I thought that just the core three of Holler, General, and Ruiz would have been more than enough to carry them through past a lot of teams, but obviously I was wrong. So E6, I was very upset with, and Prophecy, I was very upset with.
Right. Goalie, any other surprise overall placings?
What I was going to say is AR. I didn't expect them to get 13th through 16th.
That's true. We didn't even mention their placing.
So, obviously I expected, as same as Fox, I expected Prophecy to make it into the league, and it's disappointed that they didn't. But I didn't expect AR to make it in the league, but I didn't expect them to place at the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
But I don't know how much they were practicing.
Yeah, they're kind of like a thrown together roster, to be honest. Like, what was that? Felony, BL Fire, Merc, and Lawless. Yeah, those. Yeah, just kind of like a bunch of different players. To be like going off of what you guys said, definitely AR was kind of surprised to me. I didn't have them going in or moving on, but I definitely didn't have them at the very, very bottom. Another thing, I had VVV. I had them like maybe 5th or 6th, ended up placing 7th through 8th. I mean, that's like, 2 placings down. They lost one more match than I thought they would. VVV wasn't like a team I thought would move on. I saw a lot of people had them in their top 4. They just weren't working out very well together in streams. They were constantly arguing. John was threatening to leave, and Killa was saying he was going to join TK. So I'm not really sure how that all works. And also, to me, the biggest surprise of the entire tournament, Prophecy not moving on. They ended up losing. And I believe it was like a 1 versus 3 in round 10 to Silly. Like, Silly absolutely dominated them.
That was crazy. I saw Silly was in a 1v3. I instantly started typing a tweet out saying he clutched.
Yeah, that was was that round 10 or was that round 11?
That was round 10 because it made that 5-4. And then it might have been a 1v2 after that also.
Yeah, I think he was, something like that. But anyway,
earlier, maybe.
Right. But regardless, a very good game. But unfortunately, Prophecy, in a way, choked in a sense, but just unfortunate. Didn't even really make it on. For me personally, I had Strictly Business moving on. That was just me. That was like one of my surprise teams that I thought could possibly make it. That was kind of a random roster. It was like Spacely, Study, and whatnot. Those guys I thought might be able to make it on, but unfortunately, they did not. So
Yeah.
To me, kind of surprising.
Sort of a recurring theme between all of us, what we were saying was about Prophecy not making it through. Like, I really don't understand. Just look at the talent on that team, right? I mean, Aqua and Apathy alone, you could just imagine that team would be strong, but we're not seeing them be the same team that they were at Gfinity, unfortunately. I'm not sure what that random spurt of excellency was, but whatever it is, it's gone now, and everyone's just trying to find their own way to go now.
Yeah, I think from every single bracket that I saw, Prophecy was in those, like, oh, no, not a doubt, Prophecy's making it through. I think just about every single person probably had Prop moving on it. And if you're not, then you're a freaking magician. So,
yeah.
Props to you being one of those. So I'm going to give you guys actually some stats from the relegation tournament. These are coming from our friends at COD_stats, guys. Make sure to follow them on Twitter and go to their website. I think it's like codcompstats.com, I believe.
Yep, that's it.
That's what it is. So make sure to follow them. These we're getting all these stats from. And so the top 5 overall KDs from this relegation tournament were actually coming in first was Happy from Orbit with a 1.20, Swarly from DT Blue with a 1.2. Wait, I think I switched that up. Happy had a 1.24, Swarly had a 1.20. My bad. In third was Cinder with a 1.16. Baker from DT Purple was in fourth with a 1.15. Octane from Prophecy was in fifth with a 1.14. As far as S&D goes, Cells had a 1.67. Fizzerp had a 1.54. Baker with a 1.50. Swarly with a 1.39. And Havoc with a 1.35. So, talking about a little bit of these guys who were in kind of match both, I saw Swarly. I think Swarly is a very dominant player from DT Blue, like I said, and he was honestly a very good slayer in the top KDs for both of these particular top 5s and whatnot. I also saw Baker. Baker to me was definitely like an MVP for that DT Purple squad. They talked about him constantly being really good at communicating. So
yeah, great AR player as well. Like he was definitely the in-game just vocal leader, just basically orchestrating everyone like chess pieces. And he was also an amazing AR shot. You would have seen him on comeback pulling off some really impressive, really clutch kills for the squad.
Right, and I think it was good, honestly, just throughout this entire event to see these younger guys, to get a chance. And like you would have never heard of, I mean, we've all heard of some players like Baker. I believe he's been on DT. Obviously he's on one of the DT teams right now. But Havoc, Cells, Cinder. I mean, we've all heard of Cinder, but Octane. Just these younger guys that you're not going to see a whole lot in the limelight. It was good to see them show out and just see them overall. But I'm going to give you guys some interesting stats from the number 1 team, obviously, which is ISO or Isolation Empire. These are just my stats that I compose. I always try to do my own little thing. Sometimes COD Stats gives us their own little stats, but I came up with this by myself. So overall, they were 17-2 in respawn. That's not normally something you're going to see a whole lot, but Isolation Empire definitely dominated the respawn scene.
That's an optic-looking respawn
I know.
Stat.
Yeah,
but obviously this was the relegation tournament and not a top 12 team tournament. But
still, yeah.
But still, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
What were their? Did you recall what their S&Ds were like?
I did not check that. We can always check right now if we need to. Goalie, can I get you to do that?
I'm looking right now.
All right, thank you.
But regardless, it's 17-2, definitely something you want to see. I mean, that reminds me of FaZe at UMG Cali. They were 16-0 up until like later in the day too, right?
Yeah, how they played looked like top tier teams at this tournament, definitely making these younger squads or these other squads look kind of inferior, to be honest. But while Goalie gets the other stats, some other things, they obviously came back from the losers bracket and had to win 2 best-of-5s to take the entire of it, and they ended up beating Epsilon 3-1 in the first best-of-5, which would send it to another best-of-5, and they ended up beating Epsilon again in a 3-0 fashion. So overall, 6-1 in the grand final versus Epsilon. A very good Epsilon team, no doubt. They obviously made it into the Pro League as well, and beating Epsilon like that twice, that's that's pretty impressive. To go over their team KDs, Dito had a 1.20 overall KD. Lamagod actually had a 0.86. I'm not used to seeing Lamagod kind of in that negatives, but Havoc had a 1.02 and Silly had a 1.03. Goy, do you by chance have their S&D stats? By
Are
chance?
you looking
if you don't,
for map stats or KDs? Because they had 8 wins in S&D and they lost 1. Wait.
They went 8-1 in Search and Destroy?
No, wait. I'm counting. So.
Oh, you're fine.
They went 8-3 in S&D.
8-3. Okay.
ISO did okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad numbers at all. I'd say it's a great event for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, they only lost 6 overall maps.
That would be 5, my friend.
Wait, what did he say? He said
8-3.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right, man. No, it's fine. Like, math is hard.
I'm just not good at math,
the 3
guys.
plus 2 sometimes trips me up too. The curves and stuff.
Right. We all know it's 9. Anyway, but I'm gonna ask you guys overall for Isolation Empire, what made them so strong? Like, I personally didn't see them moving on. I know Fox had predictions and said they're gonna move on, from this tournament. But what made this team so strong? Talking about their numbers and whatnot. I'm gonna throw that over to Mr. Fox.
Dito's leadership, the amazing chemistry of the core 3 players of this squad over the past several months, grinding it out outside of the league, winning 5Ks and 2Ks and such, and placing well in them when they weren't winning. That's just really what it came down to. These guys have been playing together for a while now in Advanced Warfare. Dito is not the most well known for his attitude, but his leadership role that he plays for this team is definitely getting them far. When we see Llama God and Havoc able to drop numbers whenever Dito needs it, whenever Dito's not doing it, which is not often, Llama God and Havoc are right there for him. And I think, as long as that core 3 of this team stays together, they can pick up whatever fourth they want and definitely be a force in the league. And I hope they don't sell their spot or anything like that. I really like to see this team stay. And I want to. It's nice to see Dito back in the league. Right. He had the bad end of EG, and he kind of fell into irrelevancy from there, just slowly. And now he's coming back. He's back in the league for us, and I'm liking to see that.
He hasn't been in the league at all in AW, has he?
Nope.
Well, he played as a sub for Denial in Season 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't really count that, though.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it was hard for him. Because I think he was on EG coming to the very end of Ghosts. Like, he played that last event.
Yeah, I remember that.
One of the last events with EG, and then, we all know what happened to them. But it's definitely been a struggle. I'm glad to see Dito doing well. It's always good to see, pro players kind of come back and whatnot, if they've been gone for a little bit of time. But I'm asking you guys, we obviously talked what made them so strong. Dito's leadership, I would say, to be honest, maybe their clutch ability. Silly getting a 1v3, I'm sure, helped them out immensely, to be able to win that game. So clutch factor as well, just being consistent in those respawns, 17 and 3? Or 17 and 2, which is pretty scary. But I'm going to ask you guys, will Isolation Empire be a strong contender for Season 3? And if not ISO, any of the teams that qualified, being Octa Nation, Orbit, Epsilon, or ISO, any of these teams, do you guys think they could be a strong contender for Season 3? And I'm going to ask Goalie that first.
You think they're going to be do you think they're going to be a strong contender for Season 3? Is that what you said?
Any of the teams that qualified, ISO kind of, mainly, but you think that any of these teams, I know you watch the Pro League a lot, it's kind of like your job in some ways, but
they're beating these teams already in the online tournaments.
It's true.
How many, actually, let me pull up the results from the last couple 2Ks and 5Ks. But these guys have been crushing in online tournaments, as Fox stated earlier, even before when they had got RX'd. And
that's right, I remember.
Like, they're always, I think they've actually only won 5K, but they're constantly making it to the finals of these tournaments, or they're making it to the top 4. So personally, I see them. I said this last night on my own stream. I see them placing around mid-range, probably 5th, 6th. It really depends on how well they play together online, and if the attitudes, like if no one gets egos, everyone just stays the same that they are playing online. So.
I'm sorry. I was looking at I reopened the stream and I looked at it again. And I see the nice mystery G Fuel next to Hitch's face. He passed out. Like, how glorious it looked. So, but like you said, ISO looking great.
That's not how G Fuel works, bro. You're not supposed to go to sleep after you take it.
That's true. That's true. That's like Hitch is doing it wrong, guys. And
that's why he hasn't.
What are you doing down there, you crazy kid?
That's why we gave him some G Fuel. He obviously needs it. The Monster isn't working, or Red Bull isn't working for him. So.
It's true, man.
Yeah, man. The wings just aren't enough sometimes.
G Fuel for life, to say the least. Make sure to use the code STiKS. Is it the STiKS or STiKS?
STiKS. STiKS.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I know we always have like STiKS Live or the STiKS Live. I'm just making sure.
I'm totally trolling. You're fine.
All right. Well, fine. All right. Well, you guys are just being rude to me. No, I'm kidding. But I'm gonna ask you guys, who was, in your opinion, the MVP of this entire tournament? It could be from a team who didn't make it very far, or just in general. Who was your MVP overall, the most valuable asset to a team in this tournament? I'm going to ask Fox, your MVP for this tournament.
All right. I'm a little torn between Royalty of Epsilon and Happy of Orbit right now. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't pick someone from first place. I feel like, just for me personally, just my point of view, I've been watching ISO for a long time, and they just did exactly what I would expect them to do. I mean, I didn't expect them to be in first, but it was just consistency out of them. So I didn't want to pick anybody that came in first, even though, you could easily pick a player from that squad. But Happy, who's been just grinding out so much outside of the league. He lost his spot with Aware, and he's still been playing and playing so well. I've gotten to see him perform at Niagara. I've gotten to see him play so much, and he's still an amazing player, just as great as he was on Aware, if not better. And, it's great to see someone grinding outside of the league like that. But I also wanted to pick Royalty, because a lot of people didn't know who he was. A lot of people were like, his 3 teammates are amazing, but what is a Royalty? Why are you here? And he came to play, man. He's got a great sub shot. I saw him pull off lots of crazy mid to long range gunfights with the sub that really impressed me, and getting those multi kills around the hard point that you need that sort of aggression in a game mode like that. And I think that Royalty also deserves it as well, even though he didn't get in the top KDs or anything crazy like that. Just seeing him play in game was impressive to me.
And to add on, I think Royalty, what they said was that he plays on 12 sensitivity.
Yeah.
He does not use a scuff, and he doesn't play claw. If you guys don't know what claw is, it's basically like another way to hold the controller. It basically simulates the the motion of being able to use different buttons and whatnot. But that's like, there is no excuse for me to be terrible anymore. Like, people could say, oh, he uses a scuff. Like, I don't use a scuff, and I'm terrible. And it's just what it is, man. I don't have a scuff, but
balls like this, by the way.
Yeah, I already kind of showed him.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
I can't see a webcam, so
yeah.
But
we gotta fix that.
Default, and not even using a scuff or even a cinch or any other controller is very, very impressive. So, but goalie, any other MVPs or adding on to what Fox said from the tournament?
Aqua.
True.
Okay.
Aqua. What was it Aqua. In the not the S&D, that hard point against ISO on Solar, he dropped 53. Was it 53 kills was the final, and they still lost?
Maybe. It was something like that. It was something crazy.
It was something.
I think it was 53. It was either 53 or 54.
That was heartbreaking, man.
It's still there.
Also, he was. If you look at the top player rankings on COD Comp Stats, he was in the top 5 of everything except S&D KD. So he was top 5 KD ratio, uplink caps, hardpoint caps, and Slayer. Like, we obviously we know how good he is, and he showed up.
He's a powerful young man.
He showed up. It's really disappointing that he's not gonna be in the league under Prophecy.
Right. Unfortunately, like we said, Prof not making the league. As far is that actually all the MVPs you had, goalie? Is that just Aqua? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, just Aqua.
Just Aqua.
Just Aqua.
For me, I had 3 main players that kind of stood out to me. To go along with what they said, I definitely agree with their picks as well. I personally had Royalty. Don, he literally had 40 bombs, Mr. 40 bomb all the time going into these games. Definitely a very heavy slayer. And what we mentioned, 12 sensitivity, not even using a scuff. Dude's a freak. I can't wait to see him in Season 3 and whatnot. To me, Burns off a major factor for Orbit. They all went off at times. Happy also did as well. But Burns, to me, is that kind of vocal leader that you need on a squad. He can do the objective work, and he can also just all around get kills. Like, I believe on COD Fantasy, which I don't relate this all, but you look at, like, his numbers, and you look at just about every single thing he does, and like in every single category, he just has one of those leading factors. He's not always up there like in the top, 5 KDs, the top 5 this and that, but he's just very consistent. He does everything very, very well. So to me, Burns could be also added to that list. And to me, Dito, I think Dito was the main factor in how Isolation Empire work. He's the vocal leader. He's the main captain of the squad. Like, you look and you see who's talking the most, it's always Dito. He's commanding the troops in a way, leading in KD for them. And whatnot. To me, Dito was also kind of the MVP for the tournament. So to me, it was Royalty, Burns, and Dito as MVPs from the tournament. To kind of close out this topic before we head to a commercial break, there was a very low viewer rating. We only had about maybe 11K, maybe 12K, I believe was the highest.
I do have something to say about that, though. If I can cut
Go
it
ahead.
off.
No, feel free.
So the people are going to talk about the low viewer rating that we had for the relegation tournament. It's the motherfucking relegation tournament, okay?
Yeah.
The online relegation tournament last year, I don't think it peaked at 2K viewers. And it was obviously online. It wasn't a LAN tournament, but it's to get in the frickin' league. It's not a major LAN tournament. Optic Gaming is not there. The big name teams aren't there. It's 10K. I was very happy with the tournament, and I thought Twitter was pretty active too the entire weekend.
I agree.
Yeah, look at it this way: this relegation tournament is the worst of the best players.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to bring as much viewership as the best of the best players. That's just how it works. I mean, a lot can be said about the viewer count throughout Advanced Warfare in general, whether it's coming from us having to be on MLG TV or the game quality itself. But I think that it makes sense that this one has a lot less viewers than other tournaments. You know, just like CS:GO has every other esport has that problem. If you look at like just a tournament that doesn't mean as much as a normal major tournament.
I completely agree. I'm glad that you guys answered that way, because I was like, well, we did get 12K. We're used to getting 20, 30, 40. And on Championship Sunday, we usually hit about 100K. But like we said, this is a tournament to get into the league. And to be honest, how much viewership does the league actually get? It gets about 2K. It gets about 3K. So to watch a tournament for people to get into the league is pretty it's kind of impressive to me. Watching a tournament, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, we hit 12K. But that's still, to me, about an average rating. I wasn't worried about that at all. I saw a lot of people tweeting at me. They're like, what does this mean? Is this a problem? No, not at all. So I'm glad to hear you guys' thoughts about that. So, guys, we're going to head to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back talking about some Rostermania and some PS4 news possibly that could come. So we'll see you guys on the other side of goalie. How much time? 60 or 90?
90 seconds.
90 seconds. All right, we'll see you guys in just a second. We're live. I like how goalie says that. You're live. You're live. Welcome back, guys, from that quick commercial break. This entire episode is sponsored or brought to you and powered by Mystery G Fuel. We're giving away some Mystery G Fuel later in the show. Make sure to stay tuned and be watching.
Actually, we should do it after this topic.
After this topic? All right. Well, now you guys know. You don't have to be curious anymore. Goalie just spoiled it. So, all right. Well.
Hey.
Anyway, we got some Mystery G Fuel to give away. I'm kind of jealous. I haven't had Mystery G Fuel. I heard it's amazing. Have you guys had Mystery G Fuel? Just curious.
No, I don't. No. I have not had it. I guess I got to try it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty of it at the next event. So
that's true. At least I hope so. I'm excited. I'm going to try. I might order some, and when I do, I'm using code STiKS for 10% off, and you should do that as well. So next topic we're going to talk about is actually some Rostermania. So if you guys missed it, basically every single player who did not make the top four and made it into the Pro League has basically announced that they are now a free agent. So I'm going to give you guys the confirmed changes. I've seen a lot of people ask me, like, that's not, like, why didn't you have this? Why don't you mention that? Because it's not official. Until a player or a team officially announces the droppage or the, the trade or something like that, it's not really official. Like, you can't just go off a tweet, someone saying I'm frustrated. Like, I always get that a lot. Anyway, so I'm going to give you guys the confirmed changes. So coming in from Prophecy, Apathy, Aqua, and Octane all have declared free agency. Apathy kind of started it off, Aqua followed, and Octane was like, oh, my whole team's basically leaving, so I might as well go ahead and do it too. I believe STiKS has not mentioned anything. He mentioned on Twitter that he would have plans coming later this week to mention, so that's something kind of to note. As far as Strictly Business goes, Spacely, Study, Anticity, and TCM, the entire SB roster, has announced they are a free agent for Season 3. From AR, XGN, Merc said, might as well throw myself into the pool of free agents. I'm also one of them as well. This is really, really surprising, this next thing. No one really predicted this. From TCM, they have not mentioned anything. I don't think the TCM Twitter has mentioned anything.
They have not tweeted anything.
They have not. Mad Cat basically said on Twitter, he said, I'm a free agent. They're trying to mess with me. He said it in a lot more in depth, which I'm not going to say necessarily. Explicit. Vulgar. Very, very good. Yeah, vulgar language that he has been released or that he would have been dropped from TCM. So we don't know what's going on with Mad Cat. I know no one really predicted where he could go. Do you guys think, will he stay in the States? Will he go back, to the EU to play? I've heard that he's going to AM2 Pro with Vitality. I'm not sure how that would work. Do you guys think that Mad Cat can maybe find a squad in, for Season 3? Just open to anyone, to be honest.
I mean, we could see Envy making some changes, maybe. We could see... What is Elevate's roster going on right now? They still don't have anything going on there. It could be Elevate, Mad Cat.
Yeah.
We don't know.
If you're gonna have a player from the EU, you need to be able to support them, have a house for them, somewhere to live, and you need to be able to take care of any visa issues they might have. So is Elevate one of those teams that can do that?
We don't. Definitely
have a team house.
Maybe.
So.
Maybe.
I could see him
maybe they got some monies we don't know about.
Elevate is a global
team
they're becoming a lot bigger org now, especially with their World of Tanks team and their CS:GO team.
Yeah.
World of Tanks. I've never played that. Is World of Tanks fun?
I've played it a couple times.
Is it a good game?
It looks like fun, but I haven't spent time playing it. So I played like an hour, maybe 2.
I got you.
Yeah, we could see him on Envy if they make roster changes. That could be a possibility. Because I mean, Mad Cat has said that he'll take any opportunity he can get, any good opportunity he can get to come back to America to play. He said he'd love to. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
It's a good thing to note. Mad Cat, a very dominant Slayer, and I wouldn't have predicted that. Like, if there were any players from TCM, I wouldn't have predicted Mad Cat or even Jerd. I know Jerd's not dropped, but I wouldn't have even predicted that either. So, a little bit more stuff to talk about. Threes Up from or one of the Threes Up players, Sender, has announced that he will be a free agent for Season 3 as well. Haven't heard anything else from Strife. I think Strife's on Threes Up. Is that right? Strife's
yes,
on Threes
he is.
Up,
But he's played like maybe 1 or 2 events with them.
Yeah,
because he's always has something going on.
And I don't think Khalifa has announced anything either. And
yeah, he was still part of Threes Up.
Yeah. Right. So Sender
gone, man. I hope Sender finds a good team. He's so good. Sender's such a good player.
He's a very good player. I believe he was in the top. Was he in the top 5 KDs or something? Maybe not. Yeah, he was third. He had a 1.16 overall KD. Oh, okay. So a very good Slayer to mention there as well. So and another thing. I think this was yesterday, the day before, when it was announced. Enigma 6 has announced their new lineup. A little bit of problems with their lineup, but this is the lineup that they announced. They announced their new roster will be consisting of Parasite, General, Ruiz, and Aqua. Later on, about an hour later, Aqua was like, this is not official. I think they took my words the wrong way. So Aqua, not actually on this roster for sure yet, but the roster right now is sitting at Parasite, General, and Ruiz. There has been a lot of rumors going around. Will a team sell their league spot? Will it happen? There's been a lot of speculation, pros talking about it on stream. I turned on a stream last night, and they were talking about, is E6 going to get a spot? Whose spot would they take? But and whatnot. But for right now, that roster is only sitting at 3 players. Aqua has not officially made an announcement. And whenever Aqua made his announcement, just talking a little bit more, he said that if he doesn't get a Season 3 league spot, that he is basically quitting until Black Ops 3. So maybe E6 could be trying to get that league spot. Maybe that's why they thought he would join the team. Regardless, I have a couple roster questions for you guys. So we don't have to answer them all very in depth, but just some really quick Rostermania questions. This is open to anyone. First of all, where will JCap go? There's a lot of teams open. Any ideas where JCap could find a home at?
Elevate.
Elevate? I like that. That's what I chose as well.
Elevate, Envy. Yeah.
Elevate and Envy. That's exactly what I would have said too.
Who would? I know Elevate obviously has 2 spots open, but who would get dropped from Envy?
Dude, I don't even know, man. I've been thinking about this a lot too.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say this as a safe bet because this person can still not travel overseas, from what we know, and I would say Saints.
It's true. I don't see them dropping Saints. I
don't see it either. But if they got to figure out his visa,
because Saints is that's true. It's $100,000 tournament. I didn't even think about that. Like the Gfinity Summer event is coming up pretty rapidly, and it's $100,000 tournament. I can imagine.
Yeah, man.
Envy will be going regardless. Saints can go. They're going regardless.
Whether they're playing with Merc again. Oh man, I can actually see that. But just got to see what their roster looks like coming up in the next season and who they decide to go with long term.
Have to wait till these teams kind of release a little bit more. I'm sure we'll be seeing that coming in the future, maybe even tonight. Who knows? But I'm asking you guys, will STiKS join a league team? Will he find a spot? And this is not as a sub, because he can obviously be a substitute, but will he find a league team? Will he find a home anywhere? If so, where? You can just answer yes or no. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to ask Goalie that first.
Does he find a league team?
Does STiKS find a league? And this is for the chat, too. I want you guys to put your thoughts in the chat. As well. I know you're kind of on a delay, but you can still answer them. So.
The problem is that it depends on what teams have that open spot and if the open spot teams want him. He's an amazing player, hands down, but his motivation during league matches has been shit since the beginning of the beginning of the league. Personally, I could see him going to sticking on a team like Prof or I don't want to say going onto a team like E6, but saying like going for and playing for a team that is aimed at winning worlds. So
I see that. A lot of people have like kind of bashed on STiKS a little bit, which I agree. He's not been playing very well this entire thing, or this entire season of Call of Duty, but he actually has had some pretty good placings. People have kind of doubted, like, he's not here, he's not there. He's won an Advanced Warfare event. He's been, in the top tier. He obviously won with FaZe, and he's been there. So,
STiKS is an amazing player on LAN, but he doesn't try online, and it's been kind of noticeable.
Yeah, people keep saying also that STiKS is. People keep throwing out that STiKS is gonna, if he doesn't find a team, he's gonna retire or something. I feel like STiKS is not the type to retire on a bad note. I feel like he wants to do something and place really well or win something.
He's gonna pull Brett Favre if he wants to retire.
And you saw, like, during that Black Ops 2 throwback tournament, like, the fire STiKS had. I was watching his stream, him and Scump go back and forth. It was just like old times. Like, you could tell STiKS is not like, oh, well, I'm playing Call of Duty. Like, he was actually, like, fired up. Like, he wanted to win. He was, like, he was going back and forth with Scump and whatnot. But, the STiKS that we all know and love, the STiKS we love to hate is still out there, I feel like. And I feel like that drive will be returning, whether or not he's in Season 3 for Black Ops 3. So
it also must suck for him because, like, all of his past teammates are so much more successful right now,
That's true.
That's got to be annoying. Like, I would hate to be in that position.
Yeah, 2 of them on Optic Gaming, and Teep is just got married. So congratulations to Teep. And
hey, that's a step.
That's true, man. And maybe if, maybe Teep's a little bit busy, MV could open up a spot possibly. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying Teep's, he's not in his right mind right now, which is totally understandable. So
yeah, he's focused on his actual life instead of his job. So
totally understandable, especially.
I said actual life, saying that playing that Call of Duty is not real life. Oh man,
dude, it's not. What?
Playing Call of Duty is real life. Everyone knows
it's my job too. I should.
I don't know. I don't see him. I see him at least trying to make the Black Ops 3 a game that he's more than likely to enjoy. Good old Treyarch. I feel like that's what's keeping a lot of people from retiring right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aqua threatening to retire really bothers me because it's like, can you grind? Can you fight your way back into the league just like players like Dito did, just like Happy is trying to do? You know what I mean? Or just like Happy did. You can still work at that, man. You were a good player. You were great on TR. It's not like he hasn't been in the situation before, and this was before COD Champs.
It's not like, to be honest, like, this isn't like rock bottom. Like, I mean, he did play second at Champs. I'll give you that. Like, he played second at Champs. He was on TR, a very, very good young squad. But it's not like he's been on a super high for a very long time and recently dropped. Like, he was on TR. No one really knew who Aqua was until a couple of events. He rises to the top, and he's kind of back where he was. So it's like, I think that might have just been out of frustration a little bit. Yeah. Maybe just, I'm just gonna quit if I don't find a team. But
it sucks, man. Like, I don't know. I don't like that attitude. This dude could definitely. I feel like if I were in his situation, like, I just try and ride this as long as possible. You know what I mean? Just because you're not on a league team, start up streaming and YouTube and stuff like that. You play second at COD Champs, like, just start doing, just like Next did. He left the competitive scene, but he's still doing stuff with live stream and making a living for himself. You don't have to play in the league to be a successful pro COD player.
I agree, but the league is a big deal. But like Fox said, you don't have to be in the league to be successful. It's a very good point. But by the way, this is another question. I've seen a lot of people mention this to me. With the amount of free agents that we have, to be honest, like, all these teams are really ready to go unless they make roster changes, except for Elevate. They need 2 more players. As far as I know, every other team has at least 4 players ready to go. With the amount of free agents out there, would expanding the league to say 2 more teams, 3 more teams, 4 more teams, would that be a good idea? I'm gonna ask Goalie, because I know Goalie is very passionate about the league in some ways. He's very passionate about how the structure works, and if anything's wrong, Goalie will let you know. So I'm curious, Goalie, with the amount of free agents, would expanding the league be a good idea? Chat, also, I'd like to see you guys answer this as well. So
it depends on how we expand the league. If by expanding the league you add more teams, that's the wrong way to do it.
Tell me the right way to do it.
The right way to do it.
Show me the way, Goalie.
The way, the truth, and the light. Oh man,
that's what I need from you right now. Can you provide it?
Right now, I really like how Gfinity is doing it. How their league system. I absolutely hate that that each teams have to play 6 maps. It's demoralizing. It's frustrating as a live tweeter, and as someone that just watches Call of Duty in general. The 6 games is just, it's stupid.
But they're making them play a 6-game series.
It's a 6-game series. Even if you're down 4-0, you still have to play. Yeah. But the thing that I like about it is they have 2 leagues. They have the Premiership and then they have the Championship. All the Premiership matches are streamed and they're all covered. Like, we're doing live coverage for them. But then they have the Championship, division, which is like an amateur league basically, where it still gives these players a prize pool to play for every month. And actually, getting first in the Championship division is better than getting third in the Premiership division. And then at the end of the season, the bottom 2 teams get relegated, which I think only relegating 2 teams instead of 4 teams would be a lot better because it would cause more stability in the scene for orgs. It would actually give you a reason to buy out a league spot instead of out of 12 teams, you have a 1/3 chance of getting relegated.
That's how CEVO runs it, right? Isn't that how CEVO has it? The same as Gfinity's league, or very similar?
It's it's pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar. But
CEVO is CS:GO. For those of you guys who don't know, it's their the pro league for CS:GO.
Yeah. CEVO and ESEA technically. But
and ESEA.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like I think we're at the point where 2 leagues is the thing, or we just or hopefully the game, like next year's game, just has a higher skill gap. Like I think that's all we could really hope for at this point.
You have the premier players kind of in a sense.
Like I like what MLG is doing. They've shortened down the league, so now we're only teams only play 22 matches a season, and every single match will be streamed and casted, which is a plus. Teams only play 1 match a night, and they will just no matches are going on at the same time. So like Optic and Envy will play, then Elevate and FaZe will play, and the Denial and TCM will play. They're not like stacked there's not 4 of them at the same time like last season. Last season was a nightmare. Oh my god. Don't have to talk.
I personally like. I'm just gonna interrupt a little bit. By the way, guys, Hitch is not really here. That's just a picture.
No, shut up! Don't do that.
I have to.
I love seeing it in chat.
People tweeting at me and Hitch both. They're like, "Bro, you're an idiot. Wake up! Like this is a show. Like, I don't want Hitch to get any like that much hate. He's not really there. Okay, it's just a picture. Hitch isn't being like a jerk.
This is like finding out Santa Claus isn't real.
That is actually from that's from a STiKS. That's from a really old STiKS
Snape
show.
kills Dumbledore.
Oh my god. Oh no. Don't just ruin that movie for someone. In the book series. Come on, man.
That'll be alright.
Come on.
Also, Luke's father is
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Someone hasn't seen Star Wars, man.
Reggie from Rocket Power is Luke Skywalker's father.
Dude, I used to love Rocket Power. You guys, don't be shoobies, okay?
But yeah, Hitch really isn't there. That was actually from a really old STiKS show. Like afterwards, me, Hitch, and Fatty stayed around in a call for about 30 minutes, and Hitch fell asleep.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to spoil it, but I didn't want like Hitch to be like, why am I getting so many tweets?
You just killed COD.
If anyone else comes in the chat, feel free to run with it. But I wanted, you guys, the 544 people right now, I want you guys to know that. So, I mean, it's actually not really asleep. So
misled somewhere around 500 people today that this person was sleeping. Hey, Hitch, wake up, dude.
Hitch, we're on a commercial break. Wake up now. No. But this is also another idea. We'll go back to the league, trying to move us back to where we were. I've heard Benson. I've heard a lot of people talk about this. Would 2 conferences solve our problem? I've heard a lot of people mentioning this. In my opinion, I don't like this idea because I can kind of dissect it a little bit and be like, no, this would not work. But 2 conferences, it couldn't really be based on location, just for the fact that like you're not going to play other teams. But would 2 conferences in some way solve our problem? Anyone? 2 separate conferences of 8 teams.
8 teams, but that's the same thing that I was saying earlier, which adding more teams to the league. I think we just need a separate amateur league. I think, like as I stated, last season was a disaster with 4 matches at the same time. It was a nightmare for anyone that wanted to watch or follow the league. And adding 16 teams to the league, that's either going to make the season longer or that's just going to add more matches every night. And it would be... I think it would work out if we adopted Gfinity's style, which we're kind of already doing, but we just dropped the teams down to... which I don't know how we would manage this to go from 12 to 8 teams. That's kind of already the issue, I think, is we already have an established league with 8 teams, and we don't want to completely screw anyone out of the league. But definitely we need to find a way that people can, or that orgs can move up and down without it just being a relegation tournament, I think, too.
So Exib just got dropped from E6 about 9 minutes ago.
Exib was not on isn't on E6.
So that's Im Ruiz, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. He was on Tactical Turtle with Cade, and then he went somewhere else after the free agents, right?
Tactical Turtle,
Tactical
dude?
Turtle.
Yeah.
Best name ever, by the way. Props.
They deleted their Twitter, so I don't think that's a thing anymore. But I don't know. Yeah, my mistake. He was not on E6. It was Im Ruiz that was playing alongside General that is trying to pick up Parasite and Aqua. I know my teams. I swear on me, mom. I promise.
We'll forgive you. But by the way, I'm gonna give you. I tweeted this out the other day. I said I think I might have came with a way to expand the league without actually expanding it. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of my plan. All right, I'm gonna give you guys that's like a fourth of it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys. All right, so this is an idea that I've had for a very long time. I made a video about it a while ago, so I'm gonna give you guys like 2 parts of my 8-step plan. All right, I hope everyone's ready for this. I got the blueprint.
Okay. Do you have a whiteboard?
I wish I did.
I got a green screen behind me if we need to use it.
I should have wrote something down and put it behind you, but we just have this bridge right here for right now.
Wait. Let me get my whiteboard.
Do you really have a whiteboard?
I do have a whiteboard.
Okay, get it ready. I want this to be official.
Be professional about this, okay, Landon?
We're being.
I was just gonna put Sharpie on my chest. We could. I mean, that's a good alternative, I guess.
This is gonna be terrible for audio listeners. Like they're like, what? Like, what are they talking about? Like, whiteboard. I'm not seeing that actually happen. So we'll see. Let's get sexy. Agreed, Bentley. Let's get sexy. That's the best thing that I've heard the entire night so far. I'm waiting for Gola to get the whiteboard. Okay. So there we go. All right.
Unfortunately, you guys will not be able to see this, obviously.
Kind of the point, but still.
But the chat will be able to laugh. So that's the whole point of this.
Okay, this better be serious because I'm watching you in a 30
It's gonna be really awkward because we're not laughing.
It's true. That is a very good point. All right, so this is my idea in a way of my plan. Okay, for to help the Pro League out. So, Gully, are you ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay, so I mentioned this in a video a very long time ago, and we're not going to be talking about this for very long. So I want to have 3 to 4 streams going on at one time, okay? So are you writing this down, Gully?
Yep.
Okay, so 3 to 4 streams, all of them kind of like how we have regularly the Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. You don't have to have 4; it's not always needed. But every night you have 4 games going on, and then after that you have another 4 games going on. I know we hate that, but the only problem with that is that we weren't sure like what games were going to be streamed. Were players going to actually tweet out the right things if they weren't actually streaming? So you have 4 streams, let's just say 4. And obviously the Alpha, the ESR, has the better out of the other 4. They have the best one. They have the main event, Optic Gaming versus FaZe, the major match for the first 4. And Bravo gets the second, Charlie gets the third, and Delta gets the 4th. The only problem with that is that they need a producer. Who would produce them? I don't know. That's MLG's problem. That's just my plan and whatnot. After that, it'd be the same thing. The next 4 teams play, and that kind of plays out the same way as well. So you have an opportunity for casters to cast. It's like Fox, myself, I could be on the C or D. Fox could be on the Bravo or Alpha and whatnot. We could have that going on. That'd be an opportunity for casters. It'd be a lot easier to keep the stats if you were to watch your team play. You have someone to cast over it. I think that would work pretty well. Next thing, moving on to a separate topic. Okay, I'm not trying to talk about myself for a very long time. But as far as this thing goes, the top 4 teams, or I would say like the bottom 4 teams, are what are called in the red. Obviously, we all know that there's 12 teams, top 8 get a guaranteed spot in the next season. The bottom 4 have to fight for their life. I think halfway through the season would be a cool idea, is if we had a small tournament go on where the bottom 2 teams have to fight through their life in a smaller tournament. So like let's just say a tournament goes on, a separate tournament goes on. The top 4 teams move on to go to this tournament versus the other 2 teams who are the bottom in Season 3. Those guys play. Top 2 teams from that tournament get to be in the Pro League. First place team gets the record of the team that was in 11th, and the second place team gets the record of the guys who were in 12th. I know that's a problem in some ways. It doesn't work out the best. That was just like an idea I threw around. It would keep everyone from wanting to be in those bottom 2 spots because some teams just kind of get bored and get lazy. It would keep you kind of on your toes a little bit. If you're in the red, don't get in the very bottom. That was just my idea. That's only like a 4th of my plan, but I'm happy with it. All right, I'm done.
You good?
Wait. I only have 2 things.
That's the only thing I mentioned. That was the only thing. I only mentioned 2 things out of my plan. So there you go. More things to come. I know me and one of the team owners, I'm not gonna say who it was, we were discussing this in Skype last night. We were talking about this. We were like we were trying to figure out ideas for the Pro League. He really liked my idea. He's a team owner, and that was just part of my plan.
Tactical Turtle, wasn't it?
No, it was, and they discussed that their team is no longer going to exist, which is really unfortunate. So, so I think Goalie
or
got
the
out
organization.
Yep, we got
Made
rid
it
of
to
the
about 80
whiteboard.
followers, and we're all done.
All right, so should we head to a quick commercial break, Goalie, before we do the G Fuel giveaway?
Yes.
Okay, guys, so we're going to head to a quick commercial break. Next up, after my plan is now over, we're going to be doing the G Fuel mystery giveaway. So we see you guys on the other side of probably 90 seconds.
Hello, and welcome back to the STiKS Live. You're here right now. You are at a very fortunate time because we're giving things away. We're giving away Digimo game and related things. We got our friends at G Fuel giving us some nice stuff here, guys. We got STiKS. You got to use the hashtag STiKS Mystery if you want this mystery flavored G Fuel. I haven't tried it yet myself, but I've tried every other flavor and they're all pretty good. So, you know, by proxy, this one has to be great as well. All you got to do, guys, pay close attention because I'm only going to say this once. Just kidding. I'll probably say it several more times for you. You're going to tweet the hashtag STiKS Mystery. That is STiKS Mystery. You're going to tag either one of the hosts here with our Twitter names on screen, and you're going to tag at the STiKS Live, which should be at the top of your screen as well with the tweet. So again, I'm going to say that one more time for you guys. Hashtag STiKS Mystery at the STiKS Live. All right, that's the hashtag you're tweeting. And again, we're giving away G Fuel mystery flavor. So if you want to be a part of that action, hit up your tweeters really quick and put out a tweet for us. All right.
I am putting in the chat on Kingdom's account, so don't be scared. But what you guys have to tweet and also tag one of us while you're doing it. Also was as Fox said. So.
Yes, you can go at one of us on the channel right now. We'll see it, but make sure you're using that hashtag. Also, you could also, at the top left of your corner of your screen, you should see the STiKS Live is the actual STiKS Twitter as well, guys. So tweet that hashtag, and you'll be entered for a chance to win some nice G Fuel. I just had the sudden urge to unscrew this and just like dump it all in my face. I mean, that would have been gift worthy, but it's totally not worth it for me. I'm sorry. I actually want to be able to use the product. Thank you. So.
We don't want you to use the product. We want you to dump it on your face.
I'm sure you would love. I'm sure the guys at G Fuel would love that, and I'm sure you guys watching stream would love that. But it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. But yeah, again, if you're here right now, you're at a very opportune time to enter this giveaway, guys. So head to Twitter right now with the hashtag STiKS Mystery at the STiKS Live or at Mr. Rostermania or at Goalie TV or at Rondez Fox. Tweet at some of us with that hashtag, and we'll see it.
And by the way, don't put a C in it. It just frustrates us. STiKS.
There's no C in STiKS, man. It's on screen for you like 5 times. You got it, right? You got it.
By the way, I believe Killer just tweeted out that he's a free agent.
He did. And he hates everyone that he teams with.
He said it in a very vulgar tone, but still, he is a free agent. So that was something else to add to Rostermania. He's no longer on VVV, at least for now. So guys, make sure to use the hashtag, like we said, STiKS Mystery, and tweet at one of us like Fox has just said. So we're going to want to do the topic that we're going to talk about, PS4 deal with Call of Duty. And at the end of this topic, we will announce the winner. So we will be doing that. So guys, keep your tweets going, and we'll definitely choose one of you guys. So stay tuned for that. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the deal that went on with Call of Duty as well as Sony. Fox is excited. I love
talking about this. I love it.
You?
I don't love that it happened, but I'm different, and I'm just excited to talk about it.
I'm going to lay it out for you. So I'm going to let you take it away if you want to. Do you want
to? No, man, go ahead. I want you to do you, boo-boo. All right?
Okay. Well, I don't like talking that way. I'm kidding. All right. So basically, last week when we were doing the STiKS, we were kind of debating. We had Nestle actually on the show, and we were kind of talking about what would happen if Call of Duty had a deal with PS4. Later on that day, there was another conference for Sony's conference. They basically, at the E3, if you guys don't know what E3 is, it's the Electronic Entertainment Expo where they talk about all kinds of new video games coming out, the top video game makers and the companies basically just name all their products, and they let everyone watch, and they usually give presentations. So with that said, you guys already didn't know that, which I'm sure 90% of you did. So Microsoft had their conference. They didn't mention anything about Call of Duty. And since Microsoft and Call of Duty have had a deal in the past for a very long time, they normally talk about them as one of their games. And they did not do that this time. So later on during the show, after our STiKS episode was off air and E3 was back on, Sony, at the end of their conference, basically had Treyarch, or Mark Lamia, I believe is what his name is, studio head at Treyarch, come out. And he basically announced the new deal, or the contract, the deal with Call of Duty, and now the PlayStation. So now, if you have your DLC on the Xbox, you've had that for years, Xbox gets DLC early, yada, yada, yada. Now the PS4 basically has that as well. Another thing to mention, a lot of people don't really take this into consideration. Basically, whenever you have a deal with Call of Duty, that console in particular has the game made specifically for that console. So if you've ever noticed, Xbox usually kind of has the upper hand in how Call of Duty plays, which I agree with. Advanced Warfare is much more better, I should say, on the Xbox One than the PS4 is. So that game is basically made for that specific console. This year, now, it is made specifically for the PS4. So I'm asking you guys, do you think competitive will now switch over to the PS4 now with the fact that Call of Duty has a deal with PlayStation instead of Xbox? Because we all know Xbox is the official console of the MLG. So I'm asking you guys, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys think competitive in general will switch over to the PS4? I'm gonna start with Fox as well as the chat. Put it down in the comments. So Fox, opinions, do you think competitive will switch over to the PS4? For Black Ops 2.
I'm going to try not to go on a big rant here because there's a lot of different things that are really important to touch on with this. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of things you need to mention, but I'm going to try and keep it concise. I do think that competitive will switch over to PS4. I mean, the writing is on the walls for you right there. I mean, it's happened before in Black Ops 1. We had to move over to PlayStation. It just makes sense, guys. Like, as much as I wish that there was no exclusivity at all, and I'm not just saying that because I was an Xbox One user, I'm going to buy a PS4 just because I have to. This is what I do. I think the PS4, it goes without saying, the PS4 is just a better console. It's the better platform for us to play on for Call of Duty Esports, no doubt. I think that it's unfortunate that this exclusivity deal affects everyone, making the beta come out earlier and making the DLC come out earlier. It's totally unnecessary. It doesn't help anyone. It does not help consumers one bit. It's all for Activision. But it's a smart move for them as a business, That's just what they got to do. And I do see competitive going over to PlayStation. Activision's not going to allow MLG to host a tournament on the Xbox One. Everything right now is presented by Xbox by MLG and stuff like that, but that could change. It depends entirely on how MLG's contracts work between Activision and Xbox. It totally depends on that.
Agreed. Goalie, any thoughts in particular? I know you've had a lot of, I would say, worries. This is goalie's job. If competitive does switch over to a completely different console that does involve goalie. Goalie, your thoughts?
Off. My mic's off.
Goalie.
I apologize.
You just killed
COD.
That's my
you
bad,
just killed
guys.
COD, dude. Like,
I just killed COD.
now when people are watching the rebroadcast, we're just sitting here agreeing to nothing, and it's all your fault. And I just want you to know that you should just. Oh man,
Let him
stressed out.
Okay, guys, that piece of shit. Dang it!
Code red in the chat. Code red.
That piece of crap up there is terrible. Being on the PS4 is a good thing because we're not on that piece of crap anymore. That's basically what I said.
Yeah. Overall, it's not a great thing, but it is nice to be on the better console.
Yeah.
I want to expand on a bit why I'm saying it's not a good thing, by the way. There's a lot of people, I think it's because we have a lot of young people in the community, and that's not a shot at young people, obviously, but a lot of people don't really understand the big picture as to why it's, not so great of a thing that it's exclusive to PS4, just like it wasn't a good thing that was exclusive to Xbox. It doesn't help anyone, really. It doesn't. Like, it'd be nice if just everything came out at once, or as soon as it could for each platform. I don't think that it's necessary to hold one console 30 days, because that's the actual number, is 30 days for DLC and such. I don't know if it's going to be exactly 30 days for the beta, but it is definitely 30 days for DLC. It's just not good. It's not good business for consumers that everything was on Xbox at one point, and now there's a lot of people that were aspiring to go pro or just wanted to be on the same console as their favorite pro player, and that's taken away from them for seemingly no reason at all. And people make the point of like, oh, if you're dedicated, you're going to go out and buy this PS4. But it's like, they're just like, if you can pay for a scuff, you can pay for a plane. I think that's coming from people that are more well off than money than most people. I'm not saying super well off, but not everyone has the money for their plane ticket, their scuff, and all this other stuff, and another console now. That's money, despite what people are saying. Like, not everyone has that. And exactly. It's not fair to say that these guys won't go pro anyways. You know what I mean? Because let's pretend for a second that the TR guys only had money for their Xbox One and only had money for their flight and stuff like that. What if it was switched over to PS4? Now, one or two players in that TR squad never played at COD Champs. Mm-hmm. because they couldn't get a PS4. Let's just in an alternate universe, right? It's not fair to say that they would have never gone pro because they were irrelevant before it. We've seen lots of come up amateur squads this year in Advanced Warfare, and I think it's very ignorant to say that those kids that can't afford it wouldn't have gone pro anyways, because you never know.
Right, absolutely. Not all of us have money. Like, we're all in different money situations. I completely agree with that. And to add on to your point, the biggest deal with competitive, if it were to switch over to PS4, because it actually hasn't happened yet for everyone who's asking. Xbox is still the preferred console by MLG. We'll see. They'll probably be making announcements in the next couple of months when Advanced Warfare is kind of coming to an end, and when Black Ops 3 will finally take its role, I guess you could say. But I think the biggest deal with that is definitely money. But the only thing to me that's positive about the whole money situation, at least you have 5 more months. You have 5 months to come up. If you just have an Xbox One, to get a PS4. Now, granted, is it still the money? Yeah, the money is still there, but at least you have time. It's not like Black Ops 3 is coming out in 2 weeks. By the way, PS4 is now the new console. Like, at least it's not that way. The only thing that's positive for me coming out of the money situation is that at least you have 5 months to come up with the console money and the game, or even a scuff, but that's a little bit farther away. But still, the only thing that's positive for me is at least you have time. It's not like right now you have some time to work on it and whatnot. But like we said, it's not official. But if it were, that's the the thing for right now.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I've heard a lot of pros say, the PS4, not a whole lot of pros have it. From Neslo, he said it's about 50-50. Hearing from Scump, he said most pros also have a PS4 as well.
I mean, it is the better console. No one's doubting that. That's not the problem, though. Like, that's not the topic. It's obviously the better console. But what do you think? What do you think, Landon? Do you think that this is a good move? I want to hear your opinion on it.
Like, if someone were to come up to me and be like, hey, Landon, you want to be on the Xbox, you want to be on the PS4? For me personally, I'm primarily a PS4 player. Do I care which console the MLG's on? Yeah, I don't. I mean, to be honest, like, I would prefer having the console that I'm better on. But speaking from competitive, I don't like. I just want the console that's going to help out the competitive scene the best. I don't care. I've been playing on PS4, a separate console to the Xbox One for my entire life. Just being real. But to be honest, do I think it's a better Switch? I'm not sure yet. I think that it could be. It has the possibilities. The PS4 is overall a better console. The LAN settings, from what I hear, are great compared to the Xbox One. The Xbox still involves online whenever you're trying to make a LAN setting. According to the PS4, it's actually better. The hardware is better. The quality of the actual game is better. So console primarily is better. And to be honest, if Sony at least gives us some help, if they provide us with different things, they sponsor events and whatnot, they could help out the scene more than we can actually realize. Xbox, while they did give us $1 million tournament, which we're eternally grateful, like we're being like those little aliens on what is it? It's Toy Story. We're eternally grateful. We're really happy that you guys gave us that. But if no, it's not confirmed that PlayStation will have $1 million tournament. From what Neslo has said, he's like, if there's $1 million tournament on the PS4, I'm going to play PS4 because if I even get top 8, that's my money for like the entire year, which I don't blame him at all for that. But if PlayStation at least provides us with some help, they can already be a better help than what Xbox or what Microsoft has had.
Now, I have a question for you, quick. Is the money that's put up for champs every year, is that Xbox or is that Activision?
What is it again? Sorry.
Is that like the money that's been put up for COD champs every single year, including COD XP? Has that been Activision's money or is that Xbox's money? Whose money is that?
It could very easily be both.
Because it
could very easily be
both.
Because
let's say this, because Call of Duty Esports moves over to PS4, is Xbox could, if they're the ones putting on the $1 million tournament every year, like funding that completely, they could put on $1 million tournament for Halo.
Yeah, they could. I mean, the thing is with that. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. They could. You're absolutely right. That would be crazy. I mean, I don't see it being exactly $1 million again, just because Halo isn't.
I just put us completely off track, but I'm just throwing that out there.
No, that's true though. That's a good point.
And from what most people have said, they said that they wouldn't mind it. I've seen streams before. Speaking on a couple, Parasite says he prefers the PS4 controller, and the biggest deal besides money is how the controller works. You know, some players might be good on a PS4 controller, some might. I have both controllers showing you guys, as you guys can see, the PS4 and the Xbox One controller, completely different. I've played primarily on the PS4. I personally prefer the PlayStation controller. Everyone's different. I totally understand if you don't like it or if you do like it. The sticks are different. The controller's overall a different feel. I've heard a lot of people say the PS4 controller is too small. I have very big hands. I can palm a basketball like no problem. Not like, wow, Landon's great at palming a basketball, like anything like that. But I don't have any problem holding the PS4 controller. It's not really a big deal at all for me. Like my thumbs never touch. But a big deal for that as well. Could that play into who's better at Call of Duty? Obviously, the way you hold the controller is how good you are at the game. So that could come into play. A lot of people don't really realize back in Black Ops 1, we actually played on the PS3 for competitive. Whenever the PlayStation servers went offline for like 4 or 5 months, which is like one of the most devastating moments of my life. Regardless, they switched back over to the Xbox. Since then, we've always been on the Xbox primarily. So that's also happened there as well. So there's a lot of things that come into play. It's just honestly, if PlayStation, if Sony wants to help out the competitive scene, great. And if they don't, that's the only problem.
Something to note is Sony launched that esports. What is it? I'm trying to find the word. Not organization, esports league last year for in just Brazil. Was it? It was something like that. And they said that eventually Call of Duty would be a part of it. This was over a year ago. What if we saw everything being taken out of MLG's hands and like Activision letting Sony host it? I'm not saying I wish that would happen. I'm saying that's a possibility.
Because MLG is like the middleman. They're like in a way it's kind of like the transfer between the console and competitive scene. Like everyone looks at MLG for basically everything. And maybe if we saw some other companies come into play, we also had what is it, ESL? Is that right?
Yep.
I'd love to see.
Yeah, they could come into play as well.
I would love to see MLG be like, just a part of our major MLG and ESL be like our majors, you know what I mean? But it's all under Sony instead of all under MLG. I'd still love to see MLG be a huge part of what we do because they've done a lot for us in the past several years for Call of Duty, and they're going to continue to do a lot for us. But that would be cool to see it taken out of MLG's hands. Not completely taken out of MLG's hands, but MLG not being the streaming platform, the league, the the official of everything. Just MLG's doing it all for us right now, and I'd love to see it more open.
It's true. We'll have to see, man. And I think, honestly, the transition will be smoother if it does happen with, someone like Treyarch there. They're very good with competitive. Maybe since they do have that new partnership, Call of Duty has that new sponsorship, Treyarch is going to be in the forefront, talking with Sony and whatnot. Could they be that man? We all love David Vonderhaar, at least most of us do. We all say, and Vaughn we trust because he actually knows what competitive is. And knows how to make it.
I love his passion for it, man.
Hearing him talk was great, and he actually mentioned the competitive scene. I believe he said we have esports in the back of our mind. We'll be talking about that in a few months, before the game launches. He said, "Don't worry, we have that in the back of our minds," and that to me just settled me out. I was like, I was nervous, and we saw the trailer. We were like, "Oh my gosh, what does this mean?" And then Vaughn's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." With his beard and bald head, it just it just suited me. That makes any sense.
So I guess in conclusion about the PS4 thing, at least from what I have to speak on right now, is that I'm not too bothered by it. I'll buy a PS4. It sucks, and it's unfortunate this is happening. I already explained why, but I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to be able to make a difference myself. So I'm just going to go with the flow and do what I need to do.
Right, just keep grinding, and I'm sure a lot of these pro players will just what. It's going to happen. We have to. I know it's hard for some people to come up with the money. Like I said, but at least you have time. But it's not official. It's not officially happening yet. A lot of pro players are already, getting ready if it does happen. But I want to ask you guys really quick to end out on this topic maybe of, console switching over. If competitive doesn't, for instance, to say MLG stays on Xbox One and we play the entire year, the entire Pro League, all the MLG events are on the Xbox One, then for Champs it's on PS4, would that work? Could that be successful? I'm going to ask Goalie first. Goalie, do you think that could work out in a successful way?
No. Are you kidding? No. Pros aren't going to switch back.
I feel like people think that I'm stupid because I ask these questions.
No,
I'm just asking.
Yeah, I know you're just asking it to. I know you're just asking it to ask. But no,
you big dumb idiot.
I think Neslo said it last weekend on the STiKS. Like, why would he play on Xbox when there's $1 million tournament on PlayStation? Right. If that does happen, but
yeah. And I know people are also curious, like, well, does MLG, UMG, do they have PS4s? I've heard UMG mention, like, yeah, we have these PS4s. Obviously, MLG has a lot of consoles. I believe, like, a couple months ago when the PS4 was coming out, Sundance announced that he had bought, like, 200 PS4s or something. I think for another reason, maybe you're not, but I'm not sure.
He added an extra 0, and Twitter, like, freaked out. Because everyone thought that it was going, or MLG was going to go to PlayStation at the time, but I think he ordered something between 50 and 200.
Sorry, I was laughing at what someone put in the chat.
Then who knows what they have right now? But
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be all over the place with consoles. That wouldn't really make much sense. I think that it's going to be one way. I think that not having that DLC late would hurt us if we stayed on Xbox, because we'll have the DLC 30 days later, and like some of us kind of want to, what if we want to include DLC because it makes Activision happy, using Call of Duty Esports as their marketing tool for their DLC and such. We would not want to be late to the party.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah, we've kind of gave our thoughts about that. As far as gameplay goes, Gola, do you by chance have the trailer? We can kind of show this a little bit. I don't know if you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't have it ready to
go. Okay, no worries at
all.
all.
I'm so sorry. That's so unprofessional. I apologize.
It's a phone.
Fox,
come on, Fox, you're fine.
I hate hearing that.
You're not casting UMG California right now, okay, man? Calm down.
Gotta stay professional, man. Gotta stay professional. No matter what you're doing.
I've cussed like 5 times, or not 5 times, like 3 times on stream today, and I apologize for that. But
I'm sure everyone's really ticked off about it.
I don't know. I just hate when that. I think it's tacky. But what did you want to talk about next, Landon? What's going on?
I was just gonna mention, now that Black Ops 3 has been released, we saw the trailer. I know me, Fox, Goalie, Crush, who's a STiKS fan member, and also Nestle after the show, we were all watching Sony's press conference. We watched the trailer and we were like, oh God, this is Advanced Warfare number 2. We saw guys jumping around the map and whatnot.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Why are they having lightning rods? Why are they striking? Why was this guy using Jedi movements and making that guy like throw up? I didn't even know what that was.
Dude, the trailer was so that was not helping the game's case at all, dude. Yeah. For what the game actually is, that did not help them at all, man. I was when I saw gameplay, I was like, oh, kind of like this. Like, this looks good to me.
Yeah, and then later, like I said, later on, Black Ops 3 gameplay was released. We saw people like Allier, T. Martin, Nadeshot, Chaos Silencer, Hex, Legion, a bunch of different people, Pomage even, basically released gameplay, actual multiplayer gameplay. You could see everything, how it's going to look, and it looked great, I have to say. As far as how it looked, from what pro players have said, I also think that like Karma and Parasite were also there. Some other guys in the esports scene, Nadeshot was there as well. As far as how they said the game was, they said it feels like Black Ops 2. There are some movements. You're going to be climbing on walls. As far as wall climbing goes, they've said that it's only a hindrance. It's just a way to get around the map. Like, you're never going to use that efficiently in a gunfight. And whatnot. They said nothing's really too overpowered, at least from yet. They said the kill time is a little bit like a problem, which I agree. Like, you're killing people in 2 or 3 bullets. I say like two bullets. Like, I saw a couple people like striking like pretty easily. But as far as from what we've seen, everyone says they like the game a lot. They said it feels like classic Black Ops games, and overall they really enjoy it. So from that, to me, watching gameplay, it actually made me feel better. I was asking you guys, did your feelings change watching gameplay after the trailer had been released? Did you guys feel easement? I personally, like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, I can calm down now. As well as the chat.
100%.
100%?
Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, the people, what was worrying a lot of people as well is the time to kill, but it's never a good idea to judge time to kill off trailers. They're always heavily edited and stuff like that to make stuff look faster and more intense and action-packed, so don't judge that. Even on gameplay, like Vandahar said himself, look at, we're months and months away from the game. Vandahar even said on Twitter, they haven't even begun tuning weapons. All these weapons are going to perform so differently. A week from now, a month from now, we're not going to have the same weapon meta that we're seeing right now. The XR2 might not be the best assault rifle in the end, and that new HVK 30 or whatever might not shoot like a laser beam. We'll have to see.
And this is pre-alpha. Like, you think of the alpha, you think of the you just think the beta. Like, you think of a bunch of different stuff. This is pre-alpha. Like, this is the baby of the game. Like, this is just, we have the game. Here you guys go. You guys can test it out and whatnot. So we have a lot of things to work out. We have 5 more months of Advanced Warfare, but during that time, a lot of stuff's going to be tweaked, and we have a lot of stuff to go on. So And also talking about interviews throughout E3. Vaughn and was it Mark Lamia? I always forget his name. Yeah, Mark Lamia. They were all they were all talking about different stuff. They were mentioning the game and esports in the back of their minds. Obviously, we mentioned that Vaughn had said that, and he also mentioned a lot of different stuff. I was actually quoting him. A lot of people were quoting him during his interviews and whatnot. He was on Twitch. He was on YouTube Gaming. He was on a major different amount of of interviews, and just hearing what he said and just the passion for what even Fox said, the passion that he has behind these games, the amount of excitement that they have just makes me happy. Like, yeah, the amount of excitement, the amount of passion they show, like, we're excited to have these games, we have these gamers, like, and whatnot. That just makes me really happy, to be honest with you. But to kind of close it out, I think Black Ops 3 will be a good game, and we're only just in the early stages, but it kind of got my mouth watering a little bit to be weird.
Gross, dude. I don't want to hear all that.
I know. By the way, Goalie, do you have the giveaway winner by chance?
Yes, I do. Can I get a drum roll? Can I get a drum roll, please?
Oh, do we have
a? No. Can we get a golf clap ready before? Because I mean, that's.
Can we have a soundbite? Can we have a soundbite? By chance, Goalie, do we have a soundbite for like drums?
I can get the golf clap.
I mean, we don't have.
You got to give me the drum roll though.
I get.
Yes,
how's that?
That's exactly what I want.
Great. I'm ready. Let me know when I'm good to go.
Yeah, man, this G Fuel is gonna make somebody happy. It's gonna give someone a couple extra hours of Call of Duty.
Give a little more grinding time. I'm honestly kind of envious to be, to be in competitive Call of Duty teams. I'm kind of envious of who's ever going to win because I kind of want some mystery.
Yeah, because we can't win, so
that's true. Unfortunately, Fox, congratulations! It's like, oh,
yes, straight to eBay. Just kidding.
Can I get a drum roll, please?
All right.
And the winner is the Raz Effect with two Z's.
The Raz Effect. What is it?
Hey, good job, dude. You made it. Tell your mom.
What is it? The Raz Effect?
The Raz Effect with two Z's.
Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, we did a giveaway about maybe 20, 30 minutes ago, and we're just now announcing the winner. We do giveaways pretty often here in the STiKS. G Fuel was nice enough to provide us with a tub, good old-fashioned, not old, but relatively new, actually, mystery G Fuel. So shout out to them. Thank you very much for that. And thank you to everybody that entered in the giveaway. Maybe you'll win next time.
By the way, Raz, I will hit you up with a DM after the show is over, so make sure you're following me.
So
yeah!
Sure. It is the RAZZEFFECT, like effect, right? Not like AF, right?
Yeah, E.
Okay,
yes.
I tweeted out. I was supposed to say, congrats to Raz, man. You got your G Fuel, guys. If you didn't win it, I'm sorry. Don't worry. If you guys want a code, you can use STiKS for 10% off. So, what's up, guys? No. That was weird of me. But I think what we're going to do, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. By the way, Raz, if you want to follow Goalie, he'll definitely help you with all the information. We can get it to you and whatnot. But, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the show. We're going to head to a question from Twitter right after this quick commercial break. We'll see you guys on the other side of 90 seconds.
Questions from Twitter. Woo!
We are back, guys. By the way, congratulations to Raz. We already announced that before the commercial, but I want to say major shout out to Raz Effect, Raz Effect. Congratulations, my friend. Guys, more giveaways to come soon. We obviously have our sponsor SCUF and G Fuel who support us immensely, and we cannot say that enough. So, and also SCUF. Excuse me, not SCUF. What am I saying? We love SCUF, by the way. But this episode, the entire episode, has been powered by Mystery G Fuel. Guys, like I said, make sure to use the code STiKS at checkout. You guys can get a 10% discount. So, with that said, we're going to go ahead into some questions from Twitter. Personally, this is one of my favorite kind of segments of the entire show. We have your guys' live questions coming at us, and we answer them. So, I'm going to have the first question. Goalie, do you have it ready?
It will kind of be ready. Yeah, I think we're good.
Kind of be ready.
Yeah,
we have two questions from the same person.
Okay.
I had a really good question from somebody and they deleted it. So
that's always disappointing when people do that.
I think they spelled something wrong, but it was a great enough question where I didn't really care. So, anyways, the first question coming from Scott the Guardian, aka Sizgit. I'm not sure how to say that. Anyway, he asks, what team in the Pro League needs a change the most? That's kind of a broad question, but if you guys can see any team who needs to change the most, I know we can all say Elevate. I'm going to kind of eliminate Elevate because they obviously already have 2 players missing. From the entire Pro League, teams included, from the relegation tournament, what team needs to change desperately the most? And I'm going to go to Fox. Is Fox ready for this question?
Oh, I'm ready. Denial, because they got nobody. Just kidding.
Right,
I mean, no, they just picked up Slasher and
Yeah.
the Squadron,
Slasher,
right? Slasher and Co.
Hook.
Yeah.
Temp.
Not.
Yeah.
And replays.
Yeah, replays. Yeah.
Because they brought back replays, and I guess
Again.
replays didn't want to bring back J-Cap. Drama right there, man. So, what roster needs a team change the most? Got most of the teams I wanted to say. I've already like dropped people and made those changes, man. So it's kind of tough.
I was personally gonna say TK, but they've already made their roster change.
Yeah, as did yeah, man. Like, and then we see Justice with nobody, Denial with nobody originally, and now they got people. I mean, it's tough to say. Like, even we can't even really judge these new teams. We haven't gotten to see them play yet. So that's difficult, man. That's a difficult thing to say. And I want to hear your thoughts, guys. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna pick out the two teams, Envy and Rise. Now these teams, both.
Oh, Envy for sure.
Yeah, and Envy needs a change. Envy did not perform that well at the relegation tournament. They actually lost to Rise, didn't they? They took 7th through. Yeah, wow, they took 7th through 8th. I forgot about that already. Wow. Envy needs to make some type of change, or they just need to start. They just need to get their chemistry back. They had like this magical chemistry for a little while, where they went 11-0 in the league for a little bit.
Yeah, and, that was when Slender was on the team, wasn't it? Or what was that team?
That was TP, Saints, Proof. It's the current roster they have now.
I thought you said Rise. That's what I was thinking about. That's why I was like,
maybe
yeah,
I did. Maybe I did.
Envy had a big streak. You're right.
But
yes.
They just need to get that magical chemistry that they got back before they had to start playing with Merc. And maybe it's just impossible at this point, so they just get a new player. I don't know.
Yeah.
Envy needs to make a change, so.
I agree. I completely agree with your guys' picks. I think Rise definitely needs to make a change. They've just not been very successful in their past league. They had good moments, but overall I think they need to. I think Envy definitely needs to make a change. I think that they definitely need to have something happen. I've heard a lot of people mention Optic Nation. I need Optic Nation to play in the Pro League. Like, I know it sounds kind of weird.
I need to see them play online, yeah.
Right. I need to see them play consistently with Moch. So preseason, I think Owen is fine for right now. But do I think Optic Nation should make a change? Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what to do with Optic Nation in some way. They always manage to get in the league. For season 2, they barely beat TR to make it in the Pro League, and now they they had one match and they ended up 3-0ing Synergy to get in the league, but they always manage to get back. So I don't want them to be in the bottom bottom tier of guys, bottom tier of teams.
I do want to comment. So now in the Pro League we have the host veto. You can veto one player's host. And beforehand, I would have assumed that they would have always used Moch's host, but now they can't because Moch is god on host.
I so wish we could just rent servers, man. Battlefield's been doing it for so long on console. I wish we could just do that in COD already, bro.
Like, the problem with that, though, still, is someone always has an advantage, even with renting servers.
I know, but still, it's just, like, we gotta lower that disadvantage as much as possible, and we see how CS Ghost League is doing it right now, and we should be able to do the same. Like, people, I know everybody always brings that up. Someone's going to have an advantage, yes, but at least one guy isn't a god.
That's true.
Compared to everyone else.
Right.
It'll at least be more, like, spread out among people.
I'm not sure how, like, our nation is host. Like, I know Ricky and Bose both live in Chicago. Like, they live very close to each other. I think Miracles is he from, like, Nevada, like Las Vegas, I think, around that area, maybe? Is he from Cali? I have no idea. But anyway.
The fact that host is the problem is ridiculous.
Yeah. But I think the host veto is actually a really good idea.
It's a great idea.
To that. I think it's a wonderful idea. You don't have one player primarily hosting. It just solves all those problems. So props to MLG for adding that in. So
no more Aches host, whether he's in the league or not in the league.
Oh my god, dude! Black Ops 2 tournament, he was like, "Bro, let me host every single match."
Dude,
like,
oh my.
Okay, and then they were like complaining. Anyway, so regarding his question, what team in the league needs to make a change the most? We think Rise and Envy primarily, those teams who haven't really made a change yet that we think need to, and maybe some relegation teams might make a change. We'll see. The next question, coming from the exact same guy. He asked 2 really good questions, so I added them both in here. From Scott the Guardian again. He says, "Will OG stick around as the same team for Black Ops 3, and do you think they will be as dominant?" Now I'm going to take on this question a little bit really fast. I've asked you guys everything so far, kind of giving you guys on the spot. To me, will OG stick around as the same team for Black Ops 3? I think they will. I think they've shown a very dominant performance. Teams are already preparing for the next game in a sense, like in a way. You see these players, they lose to Opti Gaming. It's like, well, it's Opti Gaming. We like Opti Gaming. We lost to them. Big deal. They're the best team in the game. These guys, excluding Formal, who didn't really play in Black Ops 2, those three guys, Scump, Crimsix, and Karma, they were top-tier players, if not the top three best players in Black Ops 2. Those guys were dominant. Karma was on Envy, he was on Complexity, and Krim obviously was on Complexity, Scump on Opti Gaming. Those guys were just absolute dons of the Black Ops 2 series. And if the game is still like Black Ops 2 to me, there would be no problem, there would be no reason for them to make the roster change with having three of arguably the best players in the series past. So to me, and in my opinion, I think they definitely should stay around. And to be as dominant, I have to see Black Ops 3 be played. If it's exactly like Black Ops 2, I think that there could be some contention. I think Advanced Warfare is a lot different. You just need Slayers, and for Black Ops, I think it's a little bit more strategy-based in a sense. But that was my long and continuous answer.
I think that the problem we have with yearly titles and yearly new releases is that a lot of the things are different about the game, so it creates inconsistencies in most players. There have been some players that have been able to remain consistent throughout all of it, like Scump, obviously, Crim6, Clayster. They're always going to be one of the best. But with a lot of people, that's just kind of what happens from title to title. You fall off a little bit. We saw it this year from Merc. We saw it this year from trying to come up with a good example because there are many. Miyagi, I guess, sort of, right? There's lots of different people I can name. I'm just drawing a blank right now, but I think that that's something we can't really predict. But why not, right? Scump and Krim are amazingly consistent players, as is Karma. So why not?
I'm gonna say at this point, why the heck would they? Unless there's a team chemistry issue, there's an absolute.
They're not gonna.
Yeah, which. Unless Krim gets like a super ego or something, and just like starts raging like Parasite was at the TK house, I think they're perfectly fine.
I think I may have answered the question incorrectly. By the way, I thought that you asked would they be a good team in Black Ops 3, but I do not think they're going to make a team change. So I answered the other question, but
he just said, do you think they'll still be as dominant? So you kind
of
okay,
cool. Okay. I took it as. Would they be as would the same roster stick together and be who they are?
He asked two questions. He said, "Will OG stick around as the same team for Black Ops 3, and would they be as dominant?"
Okay.
So I'm assuming advantage. Yeah.
Okay, so cool. I did answer half of it. They have no reason to switch up. The only way OG is going to lose now.
Half.
Yeah,
it's true.
Good teamwork, goalie. No,
Internet high five.
Yeah, if they the only way Optics is going to lose right now is if they beat themselves, because people are too busy shuffling around rosters hoping to get lucky, and I don't think it's going to happen.
And by the way, guys, I messed up. I did say Karma was on Cole in Black Ops 2. I didn't mean that. I forgot. I always forget that little transition. Happens. He joined after the second event of Ghost. I think it was like UMG something. They played with Clayster, and then they switched over to Karma. I apologize. Landon messed up. Roster guy. God.
Landon, don't worry about it. I run CoD Sportspedia, and I don't remember who won. I don't remember who won Season 1 playoffs or who. I know who won Season 1. I don't remember who took second or third or fourth or fifth.
Well, that was TK. That was
TK took third, I think.
Second?
But yeah,
third.
Mm-hmm. Denial was second. But yeah,
TK was third.
I understand, guys. I apologize, though.
Goalies might just cut out. Rip. GG. No? End of the show. Oh, you're back now.
I'm good.
I thought you ended. I was like, wait, what? What does it happen?
Yeah. Good, guys.
Should we go ahead and move on to the next question? Oh, actually, to finish up what he said, we do think that they will stick around. There's no reason for them not to. All dominant players in Black Ops 2, except for Formal, who didn't really play it. And do you guys think they'll be as dominant?
We don't know. The game's different every year.
It's not out.
Maybe Scump will randomly not be good at the game or not be as good. We don't know.
I don't know if that's possible.
Right. We can judge from the past, and he's just going to keep being a monster and the best in the game.
And if it's on PS4, a completely different alternative to add into the mix of what it could be. So
yeah, muscle memory going off a little bit. But I think I don't know. I don't think that's going to be, for most players, that's not going to be a big deal. For some people, their muscle memory might throw them off a bit, but I feel like for the most part, we'll be fine.
The players that have a hard time adjusting to a new game every year, those guys will have even a harder time adjusting to a new console.
Exactly. To name one in specific, a couple, like Parasite Nameless. Parasite to me in Advanced Warfare is much better than he was in Ghosts. Nameless was a down in Ghosts, and he's not the best at Advanced Warfare. So I'm not saying that those guys are like terrible. I just mean like to use an example, in some ways and whatnot. But we do know roster changes completely change a lot of different things. It's definitely possible Optic could in some way make a change. We have no idea. But for right now, looking at the game, how dominant they are, they definitely should not. So, and by the way, I saw this the other day, and I was thinking about it. The top 8 teams from COD Champs, those top 8 squads, naming them in order, all of them had made roster changes. Yeah. It's only been like 3 months. I think that's...
Champs kills rosters. It
does.
It's pretty much confirmed at this point.
I think it's the players that win Champs that kill their rosters. I don't think it's Champs itself.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
That's the only reason EG wasn't as dominant. They beat themselves. No one else had to do
it. AR picked themselves apart until they weren't even AR anymore. So that was disappointing. That was a really big disappointment in Season 2. But
right, yeah. So to kind of just get off that a little bit, I know we kind of referenced that a lot. We're going to move on to the next and final question.
The next and final question is deleted.
Woo! From Titus.
Yep.
Did he just delete it?
It's deleted.
Well, can I just say it out loud? Is it all right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is coming from Titus. Titus, don't delete your tweet, man.
Bro, goalie, type in a notepad and bring it up on the screen.
I don't have send it to me. Come on, Landon.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Let me copy and paste really quick.
This is
pro
pro level.
Right, there you go. So he asks at Mr. Rostermania, that's me. He says, knowing the reputation of ISO, Epsilon, and Orbit, I think he might have forgot a team as well in Optic Nation. He said, do you realistically wait, what? Hold on. Knowing the reputation of ISO, Epsilon, and Orbit, do you realistically see players getting replaced by free agents? So do you think with the free agents that are out there that ISO, Epsilon, Orbit would make changes with the free agents that are out there? To name a couple, you have Study, you have Spacely. I'm just naming a couple. Like you have Apathy, Aqua is still kind of out there. The amount of free agents that are out there currently. Do you see a team who was successful in the relegation tournament making changes for Season 3? I would say before Season 3 starts, because obviously changes can happen halfway through the season. But
dude, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm thinking out loud.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. I'm just meaning. Do you realistically think that they could make changes, or would they? Which team in specifically? You could say that it doesn't really matter. You don't have to call out anyone specifically, like, oh, that guy from that team, he should be dropped. But just curious, do you guys think any teams should or could make a change with the free agents that are available? And chat also put it there as well. I'm gonna go and start off with Fox for this one.
Dude, it's COD esports. Organizations aren't protected. Teams aren't protected. Players aren't protected. Anybody can make a roster change at any time. I mean, we saw that with FaZe. They were the second best team, and by a long shot, like people weren't beating them, and they just couldn't beat Optic, and they completely split. It's COD. It's not CS:GO or League where there's poaching rules. We could certainly see changes happen.
Goalie?
I don't even know what the question was. To be completely honest, I was having too much fun putting.
Here, I'll put it in layman's terms.
Okay.
Reputation of the teams that made it from the relegation tournament: ISO, Epsilon, and Orbit.
You just typed the question and doesn't know what it is.
Oh wait, it's in the Skype chat.
You were just something else.
You're killing COD, goalie.
You just killed COD, goalie.
No mind. Well, you have a question for me.
Okay. I'm gonna say I hope not.
Hope not.
I hope not. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's not. It's not like yes or no though.
No, that's not. I hope not. It's
that's like nobody's safe, man.
Nobody's safe in Call of Duty except Optic Gaming.
And I know Classy PSN put in the chat. He said Dito said 100% they will be making a roster change. I saw that tweet as well. We've seen teams denial. For instance, we are 100% not making a roster change. What do? They get rid of attach and replays. Pick them back up.
It was originally JCap replays and then attach and Clay left for FaZe.
Well, yeah, and you mean attach in Clay, right?
That's what
you said. You said that. I thought you said JCap and Clay. I don't know. Never mind.
I didn't have a Snickers.
But no one, like we said, is safe in the competitive Call of Duty scene. Rosters could, commence to speak on a team in specific. Orbit looked pretty good. I like their roster a lot. ISO could be a team I could see, regardless of what he said. And Epsilon looked also very dominant. Opnation is also out there. But regarding what it could mean, there's definitely opportunities that could arise. The amount of free agents that are out there could definitely make good teams. The amount of free agents that we have right now, the pool of free agents that are out there and ready to join teams could possibly help or diminish a squad. So to answer that, yes, it is possible. And I think that's going to be it for questions from Twitter. So, guys, we're going to head out for this show. Going to kind of end it out in a way. And we're going to give our outro in 30 seconds or less. Say whatever you want to whoever you want. You have 30 seconds or less. I'm going to start off with Mr. Fox, then go to Mr. Goalie, and I will close it out. Like I said, shout sponsors, whatever you want to, and who's and what's it's. So, go.
Hi, I'm Fox, esports commentator, caster. I'm a live streamer here on MLG.TV/Fox. If you want to tune into the stream sometime, you can. Feel free. I stream 5 days a week, and I have a schedule and everything. My Twitter is right here under my name. It's Rondez Fox. If you want to follow me and support me, that would be awesome. My Twitter handle and everything I use, Instagram, YouTube, where I upload daily, is Rondez Fox. I'm very active on there. So if you want to check out some of my content and help your boy out, thank you. Also, make sure you check out the STiKS Live YouTube channel for any of the episodes you haven't seen before. We touch on lots of different really cool topics I think you guys should check out. Help us grow. If you want to support me at all, again, Twitter's right here. Thank you very much for having me on the show today, guys.
Hashtag let's grow. And by the way, Fox does great streams. I watched your stream a couple times, and I found myself really enjoying it. So
yay! Someone's got to. Just kidding. We have a very active stream, very active chat. It's always a fun time.
Always a good time in Fox's stream. So, Goalie, outro.
My name's Matt. You guys can call me Goalie. I'm the wiki and live tweeting robot for CoD Sportspedia. I don't have a nice cool outro like any of these guys, but I'm just gonna say we should have the stick or the sub button here on the channel extremely soon. I have got all the emotes done. I need one for Fox though. I still haven't figured one out for Fox, and then we'll get one on the channel. And Kingdom's gone ahead and sent those to MLG, so hopefully we will be getting the sub button, I'd say, within the next 2 weeks. We'll see. I don't know how long their process takes. Do you know how long it takes, Fox?
I had mine done. They do it every Friday.
Okay.
They do. Oh, no, wait. I'm wrong. For sub button, right?
Yeah, sub button.
Yeah. Mine took just a couple of days. They do it really quickly for you.
Okay. Awesome. So sub button soon. Hopefully by the next Monday show. We should get Kingdom on for the next show too. Fortunately, he was sick this week, and I was busy yesterday. So we will be live next Monday and doing the same thing that we always do. My name's Goalie, and have a nice day.
Have a wonderful day, in fact. But, guys, it's been your dude, your bro, your pal, your friend, your ally on the internet. It's been Landon, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming to the show tonight. Shout out to the sponsors I personally don't have yet, and also shout out to the sponsors the STiKS has, Scuff, and specifically G Fuel, Mystery G Fuel, for sponsoring and powering this episode of the STiKS. Guys, make sure to use the codes that we've mentioned, the STiKS, for 10% off of your G Fuel purchases, and also 5% off Scuff, I believe. And yeah, that's really been about it. Thank you to Goalie for producing, also being on the show, and for Fox for also being on the show. Guys, thank you to the STiKS fam for showing your love tonight on the STiKS episode. Guys, we'll be live Wednesday at some random time that's convenient for the EU viewers, and maybe on Friday if me and Goalie ever decide to make the STiKS weekly recap come back.
I think we'll have to bring it back with a third for the Pro League, and then the EU Pro League, and the LCS, and the LCS, the ACL Pro League. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get to it. All right, we'll be consistent enough. So, guys, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream tonight. It's been fun. I'm Landon. I do YouTube. I stream. I do a bunch of different stuff. And I will be seeing you guys very shortly. Maybe at a LAN, possibly. We'll be talking about Intel soon. So, guys, we'll see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the STiKS. And we'll see you guys on another episode later.